Hello, my friend, and welcome back. Today, let's talk about releasing resistance and going with the flow. And, you know, like we were talking about having faith the other day, very much like releasing resistance and going with the flow is something that gets better with practice because you get the evidence with practice. So when you are able to let go of things and be in the flow of life, you're able to allow things to happen. And I talked about this a little bit ago, maybe like a month ago in my videos. I was very much getting the sign. I'm house hunting right now, and I was getting the sign to stop, basically to just take a break. And that is exactly what I did. And it was interesting. I am still I can't say that I'm house hunting, but like I would like to buy a house, and I've actually just started my house hunt. But it was interesting because I was thinking about it yesterday, is that things kind of started to fall into place once I kind of took that break. For example, like a mortgage broker kind of just fell into my lap. And the conversation that I had with the mortgage broker ended up being better than I was expecting. I found out a few things that I just didn't know and that are like going to be working in my favor. And it was really nice to hear. And also, actually, a few months ago, I ran into someone who I used to work with that now does real estate. So I was feeling a lot of gratitude around the, the pieces that kind of literally just fell into my lap. And it just gave me that reassurance and that faith that I was doing the right thing, and that letting go was the right thing, and taking a break was the right thing. And even right now, like just having the faith that I know the absolute perfect property will come into my life. I am throwing those lines out there. Like I am glancing on Trulia, and I have talked to a real estate agent now that knows what I'm looking for. So I have kind of put the avenues out there for the universe to allow things to come. And I wouldn't have been able to do it that way, and I'm not sure other things would have fallen into place had I not let go and taken a break. Because what that does is it releases the resistance. When we really want something, we are giving out the vibration that we don't have it, and that it need, in our mind we think, well, we need it to come into our lives, so we're bringing it into our lives. But that's actually not how the universe works. Like we were talking about a couple days ago, like vibration attracts like vibration. So when you are giving out the vibration of need, or really wanting something, what you're saying is that I don't have it. So you're vibrating at the vibration of not having it, therefore attracting the vibration of not having it. But when you're able to let go and to release that resistance, you are able to then let the avenues clear for the universe to bring into your life what you truly want and need. And that is so powerful because it's easier for us. It allows more ease into our life. And we then are allowing the divine to do what is for the highest good, what is for the highest good of yourself, and what is for the highest good of all. And, we've talked about before that we have a very limited perspective on things, and that the divine has the aerial view. Well, because the divine has the aerial view, it is able to put things in our path that we couldn't have thought of, or we couldn't have really wanted to put into our path when we're coming from that place of resistance. Because life is supposed to be I don't want to say easy, but we are supposed to move through life with ease and grace. Life is supposed to be enjoyable. It is supposed to, we are not here to suffer. And when we put resistance on things by wanting things and really grinding towards them, you know, we are in a way suffering, putting that suffrage on a situation that doesn't need that suffrage. And when you release that resistance, you are then also releasing that suffrage. When you believe in divine timing and everything comes in perfect timing, and you believe that everything that you want and need will be put into your path and will be provided for you, it really allows you to release that suffrage, you know, because if you want to think about like resistance is kind of that suffrage. Because if you think about the resistance towards something by acting like you don't have it, you know, that feeling of not having is a form of suffering. And when you frame it in that way, and then you can allow yourself to release that suffrage by releasing that resistance, you are then able to move through a situation with much more ease and grace. And that is kind of the goal, you know. Part of awakening is realizing the thinking mind, realizing the egoic mind, and understanding how to use it as a tool. You know, our mind is a wonderful tool. However, we have to be the one that's in control of the tool. You know, you can't just let that saw go around and just chop up anything at once. You have to direct it in the right direction. And part of that is becoming aware of your thoughts and what you're thinking and what you're feeling around, you know, a particular subject. So that releasing of resistance allows you to, the biggest thing I think is to release the stress. Because I feel as though life is not just about managing stress, it is about releasing stress in the ways that you can. So now that I have put out kind of the avenues of things, I don't have to worry about it. I just have to have that faith, and I just have to release that resistance around, you know, the perfect property coming into my house, coming into my life. And I am now, you know, I don't have to lose sleep over it. I don't have to be, you know, going crazy and being online, like being like worried that I'm gonna miss something, you know. I don't have to worry at all, because I understand that a perfect property coming into my life is not within my control. Like, yes, I can contact the real estate agent. Yes, I can look online. However, the actual property coming into my life, coming into my orbit, is out of my control. It is something outside coming in. So, since it is out of my control, it is not my burden to carry. So I'm release that burden. I give it to God, give it to the divine, and be like, okay, you know, you have the aerial view. You know what's best. The best thing for me always happens. So you know what? I'm going to let this go right now. And I am going to take inspired action, but I am not going to take resistant action. I am not going to be picking up that rope and like pulling on it and creating that resistance, because not only are you, you know, am I creating suffrage in that way, but I am also putting out the wrong vibration. You know, right now I need to be putting out the vibration that I have the perfect property, because in reality, time does not exist. So in reality, and there's infinite amount of timelines, so in reality, I already have the perfect property. It is already mine. And all I need to do is wrap my thinking mind around that concept, that it is already mine. I am already there. It is already within my possession. And I just need to wrap my mind around that, therefore giving off the feelings of that concept. and giving off the sense of gratitude of like how wonderful this whole process has been and how enjoyable it has been and how I've been able to really let go of the reins because I'm not in resistance, and I have been able to just enjoy it and be in awe and gratitude about how things just magically came into my life, because once we see the magic of life, life becomes even more magical. So, but the key to all of that is releasing that resistance. That is where you need to start. And bringing your awareness to that resistance is the very first start. You know, you have to really reflect, what have I been thinking? What have I been feeling? You know, therefore, what vibrations have I been putting out? And you have to take an honest look at that. And this is something that I work on all the time. And it's not just around this subject, it is around everything in my life. And, you know, because I have an overactive mind, so sometimes my mind's like going crazy, but I need to, you know, pull back on those reins and be like, whoa, whoa, hold on there. You know, you're not serving yourself by thinking like this and, you know, acting this way. So let's direct your mind. Let's come back to the truth of what you can and can't control, the truth of how everything works out for your highest good all the time, the truth of the divine being absolutely perfect, and the divine is everything and creates everything. Therefore, everything is absolutely perfect. And when you are able to bring yourself back to those truths, and then you're able to redirect your mind from there, that is how you are able to release that resistance. And it takes, I don't want to say work in like a hard way, but it just takes awareness and it takes repetition. You know, we are untraining our minds from a lifetime of training. So, you know, it's not hard, and it can happen overnight and it can happen easily, but, you know, you have to do it for it to happen. So, that is our message today on releasing resistance and being in the flow. So I hope you enjoyed this. My name is Anne, and I'll see you soon, my friend.